All verse rising, soul family, all verse rising. You know, I did studying about melanated skinned people of the African countries and the Caribbean countries. I study how melanated people, they love to do athletic activities. They love connecting with Mother Gaia. Mother Gaia is Mother Nature. They love the sun, right? But when I look at melanated skinned people in UK, Canada, and USA, bro, those melanated skinned people are so different from the ones in the African Caribbean countries. And I'm like, what the world? Where did these melanated skinned people in USA, UK, and Canada even come from? Like, where did they even come from for real? Like, they are so different from the melanated skinned people I studied in African books and Caribbean books. You know, because me, I love Mother Nature. I love the sun, right? So, you know, I got African genes and Caribbean genes, if that's the case. Like, you know, all this white supremacy corporation places and fraternities and sororities, that's not my style. But that's a lot of melanated skinned people's style in the music industry, the professional sports industry, you know, the police industry, etc. type of job industries in USA, UK, and Canada. I'm like, man, bro, melanated skinned people from the Generation X to the millennials and the Gen Z people that's a part of fraternities and sororities, they're the total opposite of what you read about Africans and Caribbeans, man. They're the total opposite. Like when you look at people like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, those type of melanated skinned people like Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, you know, melanated skinned people who always support white supremacy and always try to suck up to the white supremacy English Caucasians and these etc. European slave owners who always downplay African culture, downplay Caribbean culture, you know, basically a bunch of, you know, Stephen A. Smith and etc. melanated skin Freemasons and fraternity people, they're like Uncle Toms and Aunt Susans. Because I met melanated skinned people before in my experience in the country of USA. You know, they don't really embrace African Caribbean culture, right? Like they despise it. You know, if you a melanated skinned person, you embrace being Trinidad, Jamaican, St. Vincent Grenadines. You embrace being Kenyan or Ivorian, or you embrace being Ghanaian or so-called South African, South Sudanese or something, or Egyptian. You know, people like for melanated skinned people that's like in fraternities, like the Alpha, Omega, the Gamma, the Beta, the Zeta. You know, melanated skinned people that like they always shun and they always downplay and always screw over melanated Africans and Caribbeans. And that's what we call those type of melanated people like Stephen A. Smith and all these other fraternities and sororities and white supremacy supporters that are melanated skin as not kinfolk to a bunch of melanated people that embrace African and Caribbean culture. It's sad to see. It's very sad to see. Like, let me tell you this, like, if you ever meet like melanated skinned people in the country of UK, Canada, and USA, a lot of melanated skinned people in those three countries, they don't really be into connecting with Mother Nature. That's not a lot of melanated skinned people in USA, UK, and Canada style. If you met especially Generation X, especially them, especially those melanated skinned people. Those melanated skinned people in Generation X is like the ones that grew up in UK, Canada, USA, they have like a uppity nature to themselves. They have a stuck up nature. It's like they're the total opposite of what you read about Africans and Caribbeans. They're the total opposite. And then you wonder why. Look at what a lot of melanated skinned people in USA, UK, and Canada be associated with. They be associated with Freemasons, Rothschilds, the Bold family. Bro, it makes no sense. I know melanated skinned people who will they will literally get burnt in the sun if they ever get close to it. They'll literally get burnt. Unlike me, I don't get burnt by the sun. because like me, my whole genes and roots is more connected to African culture anyways, especially in Egypt, which is in Northeast Africa. And you know, the melanated skinned people that never liked me was the ones that's a part of like, they were like white supremacy supporters. They supported white supremacy. They supported, you know, people, you know, having their personality and vibrant creativity being drained away and taken away from school systems. School systems was made to drain energy of people, drain away creativity. You know, look at a lot of the Generation X people in the country of USA. Their creativity got drained away from school systems and all these workplaces that was made by white supremacy. You like, come on. When you look at melanated skinned people from Generation X who grew up in the African countries, grew up in the Caribbeans, bro, their creativity and spiritual intelligence is like out of this world. But melanated skinned people from Generation X who grew up in USA, grew up in Canada and in UK, they don't have no vibrant personality. It's like they're zombie drones. And I'm like, man, they're so different, man. Like melanated skinned people from Generation X who grew up in USA, UK, Canada, that be having a stuck up, uppity nature. They are nothing like these melanated skinned Generation X people who grew up in African and Caribbean countries, man. They are nothing alike. Like a lot of melanated skinned Generation X people, they have the vibrant personality and creativity as if they were a baby. You know, because look, I know real, so-called real human creatures. If I know human creatures like I think I know them, I'm pretty sure that as you age up, right? As you age up, you should have new adventures. Am I right? Am I wrong? A lot of you spiritual people know. You people that's not spiritual at all, man, you'll never comprehend. Like I know myself, like the more as more days go on, as I age up, I always seek new adventures. I don't let myself like, you know, be like the rest of these so-called zombie melanated skinned people in USA, UK, and Canada to be like a zombified NPC zombie who don't have no vibrant personality, no creativity, and being out of shape is something I cannot accept. I cannot do. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Like a lot of these melanated Generation X people who grew up in USA, UK, Canada, man, like, man, it's like, bro, they're like one of the most sad existences I have ever seen in my life. It's like, how can you just go your whole entire life, you know, chasing white supremacy money by, you know, doing things to just like, you know, put a lot of energy into a white supremacy system. A lot of melanated skinned Generation X people have done this they have been doing this since like, ever since a white supremacy country has came into existence. But melanated skinned Generation X people who grew up in African countries and Caribbean countries, it's like they actually be who they are meant to be, like these African and Caribbean ancestors from these African and Caribbean books. I'm like, yo, like why, bro? Like why does it have to happen? Like for you melanated skinned people, for you melanated people that's like from Generation Z, man, if you got melanated parents that are from Generation X and they grew up in an African and Caribbean country, man, you are so lucky, man. You are so lucky that you get to see vibrant personality parents that's like in tune with Caribbean culture, African culture, whereas Jamaican, Haitian, Trinidad, St. Lucian, St. Vincent Grenadines, you know, Ethiopian, bro, all the African Caribbean countries, you are so lucky. These melanated people from Generation Z, they are spiritual beings, and they have melanated Generation X parents that grew up in USA, UK, and Canada, man, they are so unlucky.